what is our Game of Thrones question and conversation tonight?
All right. So, we're gonna for the crowd to know, we're gonna try to do things a little different, a little quicker, kind of get to the points more better. So, basically, I'm just gonna read the quick synopsis from the Thrones on Max, and then we'll get into the scene we want. So, for
Okay.
this one, we're opening up a new season 5, episode 1, The Wars to Come. And according to
Mhm.
Max, Tyrion learns of a conspiracy, and Jon is caught between two kings. Hmm.
Mm. Mm.
But what's on my mind is that opening scene with young
Yeah.
Cersei and her friend and Maggie the Frog. Ooh, the
Mm.
juiciness from this scene. This is actually my favorite opening scene of all the seasons with that
Ooh.
first, yep, more than even that
Mm.
that season 1 with the walkers and stuff. I just
Really? Okay.
this one gives us so much. And I'm a sucker for the magic stuff. I love the politic,
Hmm.
and don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
like again, a sucker for magic, and just the way the actress plays Maggie in that, and just
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
I'm go for
Say
it.
her. Say her name. Say her name.
I can't
Jody
pronounce
May.
it.
Jody
Uh,
May.
Joe,
Uh,
okay, I
Jody
am
May.
terrible with
Yeah.
reading names. Very bad.
I am too. I am too. Jody May. She's on a series right now. Is it The Witcher? I think she's in The Witcher right now. She's doing great work. I think that's it. Someone can check me, but Jody May, forever in my heart, tragically, for her part in 1992's The Last Mohicans with my favorite, Madeline Stowe. She plays Alice Monroe, Cora Monroe's younger sister, played by Madeline Stowe. And it's just amazing. I think it was not her first role, but her first kind of like major role, and just heartbreaking and wonderful. And it's the type of thing. She went on to a wonderful career, but a lot of it over in UK. And it's you don't keep track, especially in the '90s. We don't have apps. You don't have IMDb on your phone. You're not on podcasts every week. And I had never really tracked where she went. And then what the Maggie the Frog scene comes up, the opening, and I'll get back to what your thoughts are about the opening, the ranking of the openings. And I went to talk about it afterwards on, I think we were doing the Night is Dark podcast at the time, me, Michelle Boyd, Tiffany, and Maud Garrett. And I was just like, holy fuck, it's Jody May. And they're like, yeah, well, cool. I was like, it's folks, it's Jody May. It's Jody May. Do you not know this? And they were like, well, in the book, she was a little older. I'm like, fuck the books. Fuck the books. It's Jody May from
Go
Last
off, man, go.
Mohicans. So, anyways, to your thought of it as the opening scene, I'm kind of, I will say this. My favorite opening of any season in Game of Thrones is season 1, episode 1. I also like Tywin. What is that? Is that 2? Is it 2 that starts
Yes.
with him burning down ice? Right? God, it's
Yes.
yes.
Oh yeah, and he throws the skin in there and whatnot.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, obviously, it makes sense chronologically, but I do love that. But I'm with you on this. I had a that thing. I did the Mike Myers. I was like, I
Right.
love this idea. Now at the time, being at the time heavy in the books, I thought I was waiting for the Valonqar prophecy, and the show didn't really bring that in, and I got over that fast. Others haven't still, and I actually
I'm with
understand.
you.
Yeah, I understand, but this to me again, this is the show. The show has to do what the show needs to do. It's not even about George in the books. It's about what's to the characters, and this is so key to Cersei, especially where she goes from 5 on. 5 is still long hair Cersei, right? It's still the Cersei we met in season 1. It is the sassy evil villain with the wine, and where we go with her, and she's broken down, and the obsession with this prophecy and the fear behind it. It was so well done. So I'm with you, Jared. I don't even want to rank it. It's high up there for me.
Oh yeah, no. And what makes it a great scene for me too is the series implication as opposed to the season implication.
Mm.
Like a lot of the other openings, and I agree with you, the cold opening for the show, that
That's what
sets
hooked
the
me.
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what hooked me.
that sets the tone. And again, that's another one of those series implication openings. There's your
Mhm.
BBEG to put it in role playing terms, right
Okay.
there.
I got it. I
But
fully understand that.
don't worry,
Roll
some nerds
natural
know.
20s. Here we go. Boom.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. But the other ones, like to example for the Tywin one, making the sword, that's prevalent more to season 2. That sets a tone for
Hmm.
that season,
Right.
not necessarily a series thing. So
Mm.
hearing that prophecy, and then I even love before they even get to Maggie, when the friend's already worried about what dad's gonna think, and young Cersei goes, "Don't be afraid of you shouldn't be afraid of him." And that look of just like, "Yeah, you're right. You should be afraid of the psycho daughter." And she makes that true as she gets older too. And
Yeah.
then the prophecy hits, and it's
Yeah.
just, oh, that
Yeah.
the acting, and just even from the young girls acting. Oh,
Yeah.
that was great.
And to look up her name, forget her name, but she's spectacular. Yeah, and I love the reveal too, and when you kind of oh we're back in time, and yeah, it was just a great use of it, and for me an example, and this will be debated from now to the end of time. Okay, I get it. I've gotten over it, but it was a great example of the show team, the producers, the writers of the show, going, "What's in there for us to use for this series?" And not everything was on. We didn't need everything on the bone. The Valonqar prophecy is something fun. It's still something looking forward to the book. Could relate to her death, but they went another way with it, and they got what they wanted out of that opening scene. And I think it's great use of a big piece of the book.
It really is. And it's just, I think people also just don't understand the definition of the word adaptation.
Yeah, you
It's
know who
not.
doesn't first? George R. R. Martin does not understand.
Well, that too, but like it's just that's the similar thing with going on with the Rings of Power show.
Yep.
I hear it from people, that's not actually how it is. Yes, we know. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Is the
Yep.
theme the same? It's
Yep. Yep.
but
Yep. These
my
aren't cover
question,
songs. These aren't cover
yeah,
songs. This isn't a band. You're not watching Concept of a Plan cover the Beatles.
nope.
I've just seen a face. Which, by the way,
Nope,
you should
nope.
cover. I've just seen a face.
We're getting there. But my big question though about this scene, love you, about this scene with an overall application with getting the prophecy, do you think Cersei could have changed her fate more if she just would have listened and
Yeah.
actually looked in the mirror kind of thing? It's a little
Hmm.
bit of a what if, but like, you know, is it even possible in Westeros in Game of Thrones to change your fate, knowing or not knowing? Was she destined just to have that happen?
I will always fight, for the idea that destiny is just what takes you to the next choice, and that is how it kind of should be. And I think that's the Star Wars of it all. But I think this series has and I do mean the book, the show, any version of it, board game, video game version, whatever, has plays with prophecies so well. Of it, it's so open to interpretation, and that red comet in the sky means 15 different things. Even though we might think it ends up meaning one related to Danny, I don't know, but that's intentionally what the show or the books or anyone telling these stories is going to play with. And I think the big what if is Cersei. Cersei is right to build up maybe some fear, but then society treats her a certain way. Her father treats her a certain way. Women in this world have little agency, and therefore, I think that what she wanted her not just her crown, but a crown for her children, whatever you might say, the kingdom. She wants the kingdom. That was a bit of safety, and to attach so much of her identity to it, and then to have it from the start in the back of her mind, someone's going to take this away from me, and that just built up a understandable but unfortunate fear that I don't know if she could have changed. I don't know if she was ever going to calm down. But also, she is like all great villains in Game of Thrones, including, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, Ramsay Bolton. There's some things of her experience and a perspective that I go, she's right. She was treated bad. This world
Yes.
treated her horrible. Her father treated her horrible. And I like one of the things I like, subtle difference. Maybe it's a big difference. And maybe it's my interpretation of some of the stuff in the book, Jared. I'll pitch it to you. Cersei is treated as, hey, sister, you're pretty good, but you're not as smart as Tywin. There's a little bit of like, you dumb all through the book, and she does make a lot of mistakes. And the show doesn't do that. I think the show keeps who she is, but she this is the season she's broken down. This is a season that a lot of her fears are starting to come true.
Mm.
And it's not so much that she is not as intelligent as her grandfather, father, but that she's afraid of losing it. That's been there from the beginning. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. I like it.
It's okay. I with that thought, I feel like the show doesn't necessarily make her smarter or dumber. I think it gives her more power, like she kind of does to Littlefinger, where
Yeah.
it
She makes
allows,
mistakes. Yeah.
yeah, it allows her to be, even if she's wrong, she's right kind of situation,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
with that,
And
and I
Tyrion
love that you brought,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, Tyrion's, kind of playing with, you made some dumb mistakes and everything. I've always interpreted the book, especially book 4, of a little bit of you just ain't as good at this as the other people. And I think she is tremendous at this game. Season 6 is example of that.
Oh yeah, they already discounted because she's a woman. So even if they if it was for putting it on a schoolyard test, and if they wanted to give her a B, they're going to give her the D because she's a woman. Regardless, even though she's an A+ playing this game, she's probably one of the best. And I love that you brought up the comment too, because I like to tell people when I get into little debates about that, I'm like, I give them the Filoni speech. What does the comment mean? Whatever the plot needs to be at the time.
Right.
It means anything you want it. That's the
unreliable
comment.
Unreliable narrators and unreliable comments is part of this point of this series. Well, great stuff. And now I'm definitely gonna have to watch Last Mohicans again.